So, we're in the series of Moses. And in today's story, we're going to discover that Scripture goes from his birth all the way up to his adulthood. We don't hear anything about his childhood. So in the Bible, we are told in Exodus 2:11 through 25, this true story about Moses. Well, when Moses grew up, he went out to see what was going on amongst his people. And as he was walking around, he saw an Egyptian beating one of the Hebrew men. He looked to the left and he looked to the right, and he wanted to see if anybody was around, and no one was there. So he killed the Egyptian and then buried him in the sand. And the next day, as Moses was walking around, he saw two Hebrew men fighting one another. And he went up to the one that started the situation and he said, "Why are you hitting your brother?" And the man said to him, "Who made you judge over us? Are you going to do to me what you did to that Egyptian man?" Moses realized that he must have been found out what he did. And when Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, heard, he wanted to kill Moses. So Moses fled and he went to the land of Midian out in the desert. And when he arrived, he was at a well and he sat down. Well, in Midian, there was a priest, and he had 7 daughters that were shepherds. They were shepherdesses for him, and they had gone to the well to get water for the flocks. But when they arrived, there were shepherds there that chased them away. And Moses, he came to their rescue, and he chased those shepherds away, and then he drew water from the well and watered all of their sheep. Well, that day, when the girls got home, the father said, "Well, why are you home so early?" And they said, "There was an Egyptian there, and he chased off the shepherds that were trying to keep us from watering our sheep." And he said, "Well, where is he? Go get him, bring him, let's feed him dinner." And Moses, he agreed, and he came. And eventually, the priest of Midian gave him his daughter, Zipporah. And she and Moses got married, and they had a son. Well, Moses, he named the son Gershom, and he said, "I am a foreigner who now lives in a foreign land." Well, as all of these things were happening over time, back in Egypt, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, died. And the people of Israel, the Hebrews, were crying out to God in their bondage and in their slavery. And God heard their cries. And he remembered his covenant he had made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And he looked upon the people and he had concern. May God honor the telling of his word. So, what do you learn about God in this passage? And what do you learn about Moses? He has 3 separate incidents where he actively gets involved in the lives of people. What do you discover about his behavior? And what do you think that might have to do with how God is going to call him? I know for myself, I can see that Moses is somebody that can't stand to see injustice. It's so important for us to be in the Word so that we can be with Jesus and be transformed. Shalom, y'all.